Hey guys, this is Tim with Total Insurance Marketing, and today we're going to go over AIG's GIWL, Guaranteed Issue Whole Life Insurance. And we are going to go over everything from product details, when it should be sold, how it should be sold, and the quoting software and how to do an e-application from start to finish. So when you're in someone's house, and obviously, you've gotten there from some sort of lead generation or referral-based networking. Feel free to watch our videos on all of that if you need more practice on getting in front of people. But if you are in front of someone and you go over this information and you realize that final expense is going to be a good fit for them, then your next option is figuring out what carrier and pricing and all of that's going to be best for them. If you've made the determination that this person is unhealthy and that most of your other carriers are going to reject this applicant based on some sort of disease or illness or medication or diagnosis, this AIG GIWL is one of the best products and carriers that we can recommend to you. They do accept, it is guaranteed issue. What that means is everybody's going to be able to get a policy because it's guaranteed acceptance no matter what their health concerns are. Now, the catch to these policies, and all of them have some different rules. I'm going to go over specifically AIG's in a second with you, but know that they have some rules on when the policy will pay the full death benefit. So know that that is a consideration when we're talking about these GIWL policies or their counterparts, the final expense that's called return of premium. Kind of some odd stuff on there. So let me dive right into it here and go over. So when you're in your client's house, know that they're unhealthy, but know that they need some sort of final expense. This is a great go-to. It is a low-cost option for them, and it's super easy to do an e-application. Don't recommend doing the paper application, although it is available. Hopefully, I'll be able to show you why we don't recommend doing the paper application. So do follow along, listen to this, take our tips and techniques. It'll make a much smoother process for you guys when you're out there in the field that you've already experienced this, witnessed it, and can go through it with the client with ease. So let me do this for you here. And I'm going to do a quick screen share of just simply what I've got as far as a quick PowerPoint presentation, and then I'll bring you live to the website. And on the website, I'll just do a quick e-application. We won't submit it, but we'll go all the way through the different parts of the puzzle. So bringing back here the screen, I'm hoping you can see the majority of this. Almost 1 in 3 people aren't buying enough life insurance or more of it because they don't like thinking about death. And as it's your guys' job to go out there and figure out the people that need this, but for the most part, we want you seeing the people that are thinking about it, know that they have a need or they don't want to burden their family with it. So that's really the next bullet point on here. 42% of Americans say they are concerned with burdening others with their funeral expenses, funeral services, costs of cremation, plot, all of the different services that go along with it, flowers, transportation of the body. We do have a helpful snapshot of a couple of different amounts. So if you know you're trying to pitch 5,000 or 10,000 or 15,000, you can use one of these, quick snapshots of basically a fake bill of a funeral home saying what was paid for what services, and you can do that in increasing amounts. So you can present that to your client and say, these are the average costs for these types of services, and you get what you pay for. You can unburden your family with some or all of that cost, depending on how you'd like to proceed with today's meeting, and go right into it from there. 1 in 4 Americans say they need more life insurance than they have. So maybe you meet some folks that are 50 and 60 and have $1 million of term. Well, what you can tell those folks is, we know that you've got a good policy, and if it's not convertible at all, you may be, stuck with letting the policy lapse after those 10 years or however many years it's got left on it. So important to know that you need some type of permanent coverage, whether it's 10,000 or 20,000, or, if they're still healthy, maybe they can get more, a different variation of this, but if they're unhealthy, this is a great fit for those folks as well. We've met, wealthy and unwealthy clients when we're out there in the field, and we know that the wealthy folks buy this stuff too, just simply because they want a check going immediately to a family member to be able to take care of all the bills. And we know the unwealthy people are living paycheck to paycheck, and they'd really burden their family, even if they've got family, that would be forced to take care of these final arrangements for them. So this would unburden them if they were to take, 50, 80, $100 and put it towards a policy that's really going to do some good for them. So I'm going to go into some more bullet points here. The clients that you're going to meet with prefer not to take medical exams. Most clients prefer not to be poked and prodded. I joke that my clients sometimes give their blood, sweat, tears, and urine. I mean, it's a real thing. It's not fun. And, we hope they don't have to give up their sweat and tears too, but sometimes they do because it's not a fun process. So if you can avoid all of that and give your clients an easy process, there's a lot of good simplified issue carriers that are just a phone screen, or sometimes they even get rid of the phone screen. But this one, there's no type of medical exam. There's no phone screen or paramedical exam of any sort, which is great. Clients like that. The clients do a desire for permanent protection. They don't want it to go away in 10, 15, 20 years. Most folks, when they buy life insurance, they want it to last forever. Some folks know that they can't afford $1 million to stay in force forever. And this is good permanent protection of final expense. Clients don't want to burden others with their final expenses. I already mentioned that. It's an additional, easy to get, legacy for your loved ones. And people on a fixed income want something that's not fluctuating. So one of the good parts about this is it is guaranteed level premiums, not just level premiums, but guaranteed level premiums, which is nice. So when clients ask you, is this bill going to go up every single year like my Medicare does? No, Mr. and Mrs. Client, this is guaranteed level premium. So once you've got it, it is determined by age, but once you've got it, you lock in that level premium. On this AIG policy, the face amounts are going to be $5,000 as a minimum. We do have some carriers that go lower than that, but typically you're not going to want to deal with those super small sales. $5,000 is a good small amount. And then on the upper end of it, $25,000 is about the maximum for all the carriers that we have of the guaranteed issue variety. You can stack this on top of other carriers' policies, but you can't issue 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these policies for the same client. You'd have to use another carrier. So if you need help with some of that advanced strategic planning, you can always call in. We'll help you work out the details. Again, our number here at Total Insurance Marketing is 800-827-5110. These do come with a graded death benefit. What that means is for the first 2 years, I'm hoping you can see my mouse. I'm going to try and highlight it. 110% of premiums paid is going to be the death benefit, and then 3 years and plus is the full face amount. And also for any sort of accidental death, it's going to be the full face amount immediately, which is nice. So some of the other carriers don't include that accidental death, and they just say everything is going to be 110% of premiums, which is not terrific. And then some of the carriers go out 3 years or longer for doing a graded type of a policy, where this one is just 2 years. So if they live 2 years and a day, it's still going to pay the full face amount. So it's on the low end of that, which is good for the consumers. This does have the chronic illness and terminal illness at no additional cost. They're built-in free riders to the policy. So you don't have to worry about requoting or anything of that nature. It's all built in, and they are good value. It'll go up to 50% of the face amount. So if you write a $10,000 policy and they have some sort of chronic illness or some type of terminal illness, doctor says, you've been diagnosed with this, you've got 18 months to live, it's going to pay out, 50%. So if you've got 20,000 face, it'll pay out 10,000 immediately, and it'd leave that 10,000 remainder in there as a death benefit. So there are some cool benefits with this that almost no other company has, and I'm hoping to show you that in the screen here in a minute. But that's important to take note of. Product requirements are going to be the same as pretty much everything else. Going to need the insured to be the owner of the policy, no biannual settlements or anything odd like that. The payer can be different than the insured. So if you've got a 40-year-old client that has a 65-year-old parent that can't afford their own policy, the 40-year-old can pay for the 60-year-old's policy. Or, the brother knows that they might be burdened with their bills, they could get a policy. So the payer can be different, but the owner has to be the insured also. Just wanted to clarify those different things. With this, you can't get, I mentioned, more than 25,000 in total insurance, so you can get 10,000 of these policies with AIG, but you can't get more than 25 in total with this product. You can add other carriers and their GIWLs, and again, just give us a call if you need help doing that sort of stuff, but know that that's in there. There is chargeback, just like almost all the carriers. If they cancel in the first couple of months because of non-payment, you're going to get a chargeback. Just know that. If it lasts more than 6 months, you're only getting a 50% chargeback. So, if you got a $1,200 sale and they kept it in force 7 months, just like almost all the other companies, you're going to get about half your sale. So as long as they continue to pay from a chargeback standpoint, more than a year, you're in the clear. So it's a 1 year on non-pay, which is super, super nice. Some of the other carriers that we work with go 2 and 3 years. Assurity, as an example, goes 3 years. So be very wary of some of the other companies we like. AIG's GIWL, it is our favorite. Guaranteed issue whole life policy. We have another one that's super close. It's called an ROP. It's not exactly guaranteed issue, but it's super close. But this one is as easy as it gets as far as the chargeback standpoint and being agent friendly and consumer friendly. So we do definitely like it. There is also a chargeback. It's good to know on this for death that happens in the first year. It's a full chargeback, so you can't write a policy in May and have the client pass away in June. They're only going to get, the client is only going to get that 1 month return to their family plus an extra 10%. So if they paid in $50, their family's going to get $55, but you won't have made $1. You'll earn the money and get a chargeback. So don't be writing policies on purpose that are going to be, the client's not going to live more than a couple of months. After that, you're in the clear. Year 2 is 50% chargeback on death, but we don't see that very often. It's pretty rare that it happens between that 1 and 2 year. Most of the time we are writing policies and getting good clients and agents that are doing these that last, 3 to 10 years, even on the GIWL variety. It just happens that way that you can't hardly predict your own death. So they're great. They're great policies for clients on that front. This is just a competitive snapshot of comparing a few of the GIWL companies out there. And we've got AIG, which is what we're talking about today, Gerber, Kemper, MetLife, Mutual of Omaha, and then another favorite of ours is Occidental. I definitely watch the video on the Golden Solution Occidental because that's another one, a favorite of ours. But just to show you real briefly, coverage amount 5,000 to 25,000. Not all the carriers go up to 25,000. Gerber and Mutual, as an example, Mutual of Omaha only go up to 20,000. So can't write some of the higher face amounts. And then this has a pretty relaxed issue age, 50 to 85. The other carriers go up to 75 and 80. For the most part. So can write some higher ages in this group, which is very nice. And if you're doing stuff under 50, under the age of 50, Colombian, watch our video on Colombian, they do have GIWLs that go as low as age 20, I believe. So don't have that chart in front of me, but that's on the horizon as well. So take a look out for that. But for the most part, when you're doing these final expense leads, you're going to find people in the 50 to 85 age range and be pretty comfortable with this sort of stuff. Even if you're buying those and they're 50 to 80, you might get an 80-year-old that's 2 years aged. It's okay to write them as an 82, 83-year-old on this type of policy. You can see most of the other companies are doing 110% of premiums paid. This one's premiums paid plus 10% compounded annually, which is just about the same as all the others when we're talking about small amounts of money. The only oddball of the group is Kemper pays 120, but there's Kemper is significantly higher price, so almost nobody writes that just because of that feature. And none of the other companies have any chronic illness benefit. So if the client is chronically ill, they don't get any benefit. Here they get half the face amount, which is a terrific benefit. And also terminal illness, they get 50% of the death benefit as long as they've been diagnosed with something terminally ill in the next 24 months. So to recap, AIG's got a lot of, they're good on the death benefit side of the world. The age range is good. 110% for the first 2 years is great. Some of the other ones, like I mentioned, go longer than those 2 years, so they're good on that front. And they're the only ones really that have this chronic and terminal illness riders built into it. So wanted to go over that with you because that is important to know. And apologize. This is a competitive screenshot. And remember when I was telling you Kemper is not even priced competitively. Occasionally you'll find Gerber sometimes has some competitive pricing, but they do not have an e-application, and their paper application is just atrocious. So I don't know if you've ever tried to finagle that, but for 1% or 6% or whatever the differences are here between Gerber and AIG, you're going to find AIG is a much smoother process. They pay a lot quicker. They get policies issued quicker. They're just generally better to do business with. And then Kemper is totally priced out of the market, 112% increase in premium. We're looking at from $40 on a monthly basis to $85 a month on a monthly basis for the exact same type of stuff on this GIWL. And so it makes a lot of sense just to go with a company that is smooth to do processing with, and they're going to be able to get everything you need done right away. Their process is easy to use. You can do it on tablets or mobile devices, your phone, or a computer. So you can do an e-app just about any way you want to, which is really nice. It validates it in real time. I'm going to skip a couple of the slides here just simply because I'm going to go over it with you and show you how to do that on the computer here in a second. We'll get out of PowerPoint and I'll actually show you on Safari, which is the browser I use, but you can use any of them, Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer, all okay. If you wanted to do paper, highly recommend don't do paper, but if you have to for whatever reason, you can go here. It's the forms section on the website. And with that, you click the download application packet and it downloads all of those for you. And then you go through it and it puts out a forms checklist. And then it goes over, it's just a paper application. I want to point out this area, and this is why we don't like to do paper applications. It's not like other companies. You can just print it out, put it in your bag, save it for the rainy day, just in case you need to do it. It puts a date and time stamp on there, so you can't keep this in your bag. And it prints out your name and agent code, so no other agents can, and if you've got an agency and other agents are using, different applications in your packet, you can't do that. You can't share these. They are coded to you and they're time coded, so you can't leave them in your bag because they'll expire. So we've had agents run into that. Don't do paper if at all you can avoid it. If you have to do a paper application, do it the same day you're seeing the client. So just say, I'm going to go and print it right now and we're going to sign it and do it right now. So I'm going to go over that and I'm going to go over this stuff with you on Safari. This is the only page I can't show you. It's the e-app signature page, and the reason I can't show you is because I'm not going to submit the application we're going to do on Safari here in a minute. But it's super easy. You click the finish button and then or the submit button, and then it'll say, do you want to sign? And then you just click here and it puts in the person's name. You don't have to type anything in or do anything. It auto-fills the date. You click the finish button and then you're done. Super duper easy. It says confirmation. And I wanted to point out there is a voice signature application. So on these GIWLs, sometimes you're meeting with some super duper unhealthy folks. If you've ever met a paraplegic that doesn't have arms or a quadriplegic that doesn't have limbs, you're going, oh my gosh, how am I going to get them to sign this deal? They're going to need a POA or something. Nope, you can just do a voice signature. As long as they're mentally, cognizant, you can go ahead and do that. So that's the process for that. It is available in all these states. You're mostly likely watching this in one of the central regions that we do business in: Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Alabama, Georgia are most of our main states right now for having agents in. You're going to be okay to sell this. So did want to point that out. You're okay to sell this. Thanks for watching this video so far. It'd be terrible if we didn't at least show you that and let you know it's going to be available. This is just a PowerPoint slide for questions. Obviously, if you have questions, please do call into us, 800-827-5110. I'm going to hop out of this screen share and then get into the Safari screen share so I can show you how to do a quote on the website and also do a quick application. So this is the website. Try and expand it here. For me, because I've done this a bajillion times, just going to autosave. If you need to register, click on agent registration. Just follow the prompts, super duper easy. If you ever forget your username and password, do what I do, create an Excel, make that Excel encrypted, remember that one password, and then you can always get into your Excel of your 100 different carriers because we know you do business with a lot of them. We do business with a lot of them, and you need a place to store the company name, the website address, so you can just do a quick one click to it, username and password, and writing number, or writing ID and party ID, depending on all the different carriers and their terminology. So good place to keep all that's just in a quick Excel document. So my computer usually auto saves everything for me, which is nice. I can just type it in there and then boom, we are in. Technical issues, huh? Apologies. Give me a second here, guys. I'm gonna reopen the web page, see if they fixed it. I did test this right before this meeting. It was working 5 minutes ago. Just bear with me for a moment. And if it happens again, then I'll just pause this and resume it when they have their website working. So their website's working. You can't even print out a paper application, so know that paper is not a good backup source to this. The best thing to do is just tell your client, hey, I apologize. It's not working real terrifically right now. What I'm going to do is just email you, and then it's going to have a signature page for your email. I'm going to go ahead and gather all the information I need to do the application, and I'll do it as soon as their website is live again. And that is the best method for going about doing that. So hopefully, cross my fingers. Okay, well, it's working. My screen share is back up. So again, you can see that, which is pretty cool. Real quick, guaranteed acceptance, no medical exam. It's got living benefits included, no extra cost, guaranteed level premiums, ages 50 to 80. If you need a reminder on this stuff, it's on the very first page. We are on the form section, so you can go down here and see all of that. We can hop over to the quote section. We're going to run a quick quote. We're going to acknowledge AIG is the company. We're using a GIWL. The clients are between 50 and 80. The maximum amount's 25. The insured and the owner have to be the same. The payer does not have to be the same. So just know all that. Gender, we're just going to pretend this is my actual birthday of the year. I'm going to fake a year, though, so we can – I'm not 50, guys. We'll do 1952. Just for funsies. You can target a budget. They say they can do $50 a month. You just type in 50 there. It's going to say, okay, approximately 6,000 of coverage. 6,000 is a fair amount of coverage. And we're going to pretend we are in the great state of Texas. Get a quote. Boom. Pops up. Quote. So under the first round $1,000 under $50, it's going to be $6,000, and it's going to be $44 on a monthly basis. They can pay quarterly, semi-annual, annual. I just set them up for monthly unless they are adamant about paying the first year premium. Again, if they pay that first year premium, something happens to that first year, they're going to get, an additional 10%. So in this case, they did 535, they're going to get an additional 53-ish. Excuse me, of coverage, death benefit for their family. So The other way you can go about doing this is say, well, I don't know what my budget is, but I know I'm going to need approximately 10,000 for funeral costs. How do I do that? Well, that's how you do that. You just delete the budget and put in the coverage amount, and we'll still be in the great state of Texas. Always going to offer a 5,000 upgrade. So, okay, you said 10,000. That is $73.09 on a monthly basis, or 876 and 40 cents for the year. Or you can upgrade, and these are guaranteed issues, so we know you'll be approved for it. 15,000 of coverage is only $108.64 on a monthly basis, or $1302.60 on an annual basis. So you pick whichever one the client is comfortable with at that point. Just a basic rule of thumb: don't try and shoot over the moon for the client's budget. Let them guide you. And the reason for that is you want your persistency to be high. You don't want this to lapse in the first year. You want to do something they're comfortable paying on a monthly or annual basis. Apologize, I didn't grab a water in here before I hit the record button. It's going to go over these benefits again. No premium, no extra cost premium riders for the chronic and terminal illness. You're going to acknowledge all of those things. You click a button here, you hit continue here. Excuse me. It'll ask if you've got any existing coverage. Nope. If it's being replaced. Nope. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yep. And then this is the qualifying part of the application. Now you're going to do the insured and the owner. So I'm just going to type in myself here real quick. Place of birth is going to be United States of America. And happy early 4th of July to all you guys coming up in 2 or 3 weeks here. So I'll at least date this recording by saying it's June 19th. So whenever you're watching this, we will add on comments if there have been any updates, but most likely this is a pretty recent product for AIG, so you're most likely going to be okay with doing this and not having any updates for at least a couple of years here, I would think. So I'm just going to go through this real quick so you can see how quick you can do an application. Office, city, well, okay. I had put Texas earlier, so it's going to make me stay in Texas. So I'm just going to pretend that address exists in Houston. I don't really know the Houston zip code because I am in Omaha, but we'll be okay with that. Primary phone number. You do need an email address. You can always hop on mail.google.com, sign out of your account if you're signed into something, and then hit add user or create an account, and then help your clients create an account, even if that's all they're going to use it for, is on your computer. And with your help, you can help them create an email. It is required for e-signature, so know that. And I'm just going to, okay. I'm putting in a fake social, so don't try and steal my social security number. It'll ask for a beneficiary. Just gonna put my son in here. You can see this list is scrollable, so if you think those are all the options, it's not. You can scroll, you can put other, you can put a different beneficiary if you need to, but most likely these are going to be good. You can add beneficiaries, you can add contingent beneficiaries, you can do all that with that plus sign. Not gonna for right now because it's not necessary. We already picked monthly pay. Will the payer be the same as the primary insured? Like I mentioned, you can add an alternate payer and you can fill in all this stuff. And it's super duper easy. If you put yes, it doesn't ask any of those questions. So it's nice. It makes it a super simple application. You can do bank draft. I highly recommend this. People change their card information all too frequently. I lose my debit card like every 2 or 3 months. I've had identity stuff happen on my card. I cancel my card at least 10 times a year. So if I want to have my account set up on auto pay and know that all my primary stuff is going to get paid, I pay with my routing and account number because I don't want this stuff to lapse. So that's my main concern with that. So if at all possible, get a bank account and routing number. Again, even if it's got to be a different payer, that's fine, but try and set it up on the bank draft so it comes out of an account and a routing number rather than a card that might get reissued a couple times throughout the year, and you could be in the potential chargeback situation or policy lapse situation for the client. Not a great deal. So put all that in there. So I put in the routing number for First National Bank, and then obviously that's not my account number. So it would go through, though. This is a live web page, so I'm not going to go much further. We're almost done with it. You must read the following statements to the customer at this time in order to comply. There's that. Please choose an option. You can read them to me now. You can review them at this website, and you can have them emailed to the client as well. So you can click here, and then you can click I've read it, or you can click one of the other options, and that'd be okay too. And then you just say e-sign. I'm just going to do it now if you're with the client, which is terrific. For whatever reason you need to do email, you can click here, and I'll email to them, I'll email to you, and you both got to e-sign it, and it's done. Or like I mentioned, if you've got a paraplegic with no arms or a quadriplegic with no limbs, you can obtain a voice signature, and they walk you through this process. You just call a number, say, did you complete this e-application, verify your name, address, date of birth, do you agree to these terms, get a verbal yes from the client on the phone, and then the voice signature is done. It's super easy. It's not a bad deal. But I still recommend just doing the e-sign, doing the documents now, clicking the submit and continue button. Again, we've already done the payment page, so that would bring you to the finalized page. And we're not going to go there, but I showed you that on the PowerPoint. So that's it. You can do these, and this particular one was $73 on a monthly basis, about 900 AP. So a good case for you, and they're quick and easy, take about 10 minutes. Like I mentioned, you can add these to any of your final expense clients, go back to them 2-3 years, say, hey, a new company, new product just came out in the last year or so. Wanted to go over the coverages. You are guaranteed to be accepted for this one. So if you've got clients that you went to that had not been, I'll pop back into me here. I got a good looking face. So if you have existing clients that need this sort of stuff, it's a great idea to reach back out to them, say, hey, new company, new products come out to the marketplace. Or if you've told people in the past that they couldn't get coverage because they were denied, rejected, whatever, this is a terrific carrier for them because they're not going to get denied, rejected, whatever. And your client probably is even more adamant about getting this sort of coverage if they did get rejected. So you can go back to all those clients. Maybe you got them a guaranteed issue policy and it was $50 or $80 on a monthly basis previously. Well, maybe circumstances have changed, their living situation changed, their money situation changed. They can afford more now, they want more now. This is a great one to just add on to their existing coverage. And again, no medical exam. You can do pretty much this stuff over the phone with them, and you can just do it via email for the signature process, so you don't have to go out and meet with these folks if they're already existing clients of yours and they know they just want to add some more. So those are some tips to get some quick, easy sales on this. We do have some terrific lead sources, so if you need to get more clients and get this rocking and rolling and do these 10-minute sales and make $500 to $1,000 on a sale of this nature, it's a great market to be in, great way to do it. These are quick and easy and painless. A week later, the insured's mail the policy of this, and you're literally done with it after you've done the e-signatures online here. So if you do have questions, though, give us a ring, 800-827-5110. Thanks for watching. Please share with your insurance friends. And this is going to go on Facebook and our website and YouTube very shortly. So subscribe, check us out. We hope you view this and are adding some value and adding some questions to be asked. So next time we do a video, we can answer and go over the specific topics that you want to see from different carriers and different products. So this was our overview on AIG's GIWL. We hope you had a good time watching, and thank you very much.